and welcome. If this is your first time here, my name is Courtney and my channel is all about connecting with crystals, learning about their metaphysical benefits, and really just becoming aware of this unique energy that's available to all of us. So thank you for joining me. Today, I am so excited to dive into crystals for 2023. This is a yearly video I do here on my channel where I look at the energy for the year ahead, get some astrology mixed in there, and pick out what crystals will be our rock steady vibe for the year ahead. So without further ado, let's dive into today's video. If you are a returning subscriber, let me know by liking this video right now. I always start off my yearly videos when we're going into a new year with a little cleanse at the beginning of the video to kind of release old energy and proclaim new vibes heading our way. So I'm just lighting some Palo Santo right here to really establish new energy for the year ahead. I love the smell of Palo Santo. So with this smoke, we're releasing old belief systems, negative energy, anything that's holding us back from transforming to the highest version of ourselves. As we enter into 2023, possibilities are limitless, and I'm really excited for this next year. Alrighty guys, so we're going to jump into today's video. For the flow of this video, I would love to go over kind of like my first impressions when I was thinking about 2023, kind of diving into the numerology, the energy, the symbolism, all that good stuff, my first impressions. And then I'll be diving into some major transits that I would love to highlight to assist us in kind of seeing how this year is going to unfold. And then I will be highlighting 5 crystals that will be our rock steady vibe for the year ahead. I gotta say, I really do truly believe that the theme of this year, what this year is all about, is trusting our intuition more than ever. So my first impression when looking at the year 2023 is I was looking at the numerology. So this year we are in a year 7. Year 7 is all about intuition, spirituality, developing your spiritual gifts, heightened intuition. You know, it's kind of like this mystical energy where the number 7 lies. I really foresee that this year is going to be a huge spiritual year for so many. I could see so many people waking up to spirituality, having their third eye opened, a lot of people going through a spiritual awakening, or even if you're not going through a spiritual awakening, I think if you are already tapped into your spiritual side, it's going to be a profound year with getting downloads and enhancing, your gifts. I think it's going to be really awesome and something that might be kind of like a change for maybe the rest of the 2020s, to be honest. When looking at the number 7, I also immediately think of luck. I associate 7s with luck as well. And something that I think is interesting is this year for Chinese astrology, it is the year of the rabbit. We're going to be having heavy rabbit energy. So rabbit energy is fast. It's a sign of fertility, it's growth, it's lightning speed. So I can definitely foresee a lot of people having this sped up feeling towards their spiritual side. Maybe they're getting more downloads more often, or just their energy. They feel like they can do so much in such a little amount of time. And with that being said, I do think this year we should be cautious of, our self-care and also not burning out. So that's just another insight, a first impression that I saw when I was looking into the year 2023. And I have one last little impression I wanted to go over. This is definitely more in the material world type of view. When we look at 2023 and just like our economy, I know that looking back at 2022, it's been pretty rough. And kind of like my intuition is really guiding me towards, working on our money manifesting, working on our money mindset this year. I think this year is so, so important for us to have some kind of practice with being creative with how we spend money, how we earn money. And I'll be talking about that in this video with some crystals that I've picked out. But that's another insight. At first impression, I just immediately was like, oh yeah, we're going to need to do some money manifesting this year. So now I'd love to jump into a little bit of some astrology, some transits that I want to highlight for the year 2023. Now, I'm not an astrologer, but I took it upon myself to kind of see what I thought really stuck out to me. I definitely encourage you to check out other, podcast videos, online channels, see what other astrologers are talking about with the year 2023, because there's a lot of stuff one could pick and choose to talk about. So these are just a few things that stood out to me. So if you feel called to, definitely keep exploring and learning about the astrology of 2023, because I find that stuff to be so, so interesting. So jumping into those astrology highlights that I want to talk about with you guys, the first thing I wanted to share with you and talk about was the retrogrades of 2023. We will be starting 2023 in Mars and Mercury retrograde, which I've lightly talked about in my past energy videos where I talk about November, December energy. It really is a time to go inward, to let things come to you, kind of having a little bit of a pause on things, especially with Mars retrograde. This can make us feel a little lazy. So it is kind of like starting this year really kind of like not on pause, but just taking things slow. Later in this year, in the summertime of 2023, we have a Venus retrograde, which I wanted to highlight. When Venus is retrograde, it's advised not to really do anything really major or big with your appearance, how you're spending your money, maybe like don't remodel your home during a Venus retrograde. Don't buy a whole new wardrobe. Don't cut your hair. These are just like some basic things that you want to be mindful of during a Venus retrograde. So this summer, don't do anything big and crazy with your appearance or your surroundings in your environment. Do all those things in the spring and, plan ahead so that everything's good for summertime. One more quick note on retrogrades before I switch over to the next highlight I wanted to talk about is that we actually end 2023 in a Mercury retrograde as well. So I thought that was kind of interesting. We're beginning 2023 in a Mercury retrograde, and then we're ending the year in a Mercury retrograde. So I think it's definitely a sign of this year being, really being about going inward, checking in with our intuition. So it's kind of like a nice little thing I noticed. The next major highlight I wanted to talk about is Saturn. Saturn is entering into Pisces, and this is crazy because I just had my Saturn return and I'm officially exiting out of it this March. I believe March 7th is when Saturn goes into Pisces, and I'm so excited because I feel like now that I've had my Saturn return, I'm totally going to be making a video about Saturn return. So definitely check in for that video in late February, early March. I'm definitely going to do a video on that. But Saturn going into Pisces is really cool because this year is already a high vibrational spiritual year. And with Saturn going into Pisces, it just adds more to that spiritual kind of like focus that we're going to be feeling. So I'll be going more into like talking about this in this video, but I wanted to highlight this change with Saturn. And really the last major astrology transits or just thing I wanted to highlight was the eclipses. So we're going to be having a different eclipse cycle this year. We are exiting out of Taurus, Scorpio, and we're coming in with Aries and Libra. So this is definitely different energy. And this year, it's kind of like we're integrating like a big change, switching the nodes with the eclipses. So in April, May, that's when we're going to have the eclipse in Aries and Scorpio. And this is going to be very much Mars energy in the spring, what we're going to be feeling. And I don't know about you, but that Scorpio energy this past year has been pretty intense. So I can foresee, us feeling that again in the springtime. But then in October, when we have our fall eclipses, those are in Libra and Taurus. So very much Venus energy, a little bit of a sweeter energy during this time. So I could foresee the first eclipse season this year being heavier than the second eclipse season. So just something to note. Overall, when I was looking at the astrology of 2023, I don't see anything being super harsh happening this year. I feel like it's kind of like a good year. I feel like there isn't anything that I'm seeing or hearing about that seems like needs to be forewarned or anything like that. I think this is a year for us to really trust ourselves and kind of like make our dreams a reality. Okay, now with all of that said, let's now jump into the crystal section of this video. I really took it upon myself to analyze everything that I talked about with the energy, the astrology, everything, and kind of fine-tune crystals that would really assist us during this year. So the first crystal that I'm going to be sharing with you is good old Labradorite. I feel like this is a classic seven numerology crystal. So our year 7, we're going to be working with Labradorite, guys. Labradorite greatly assists us with wonderful synchronicities and opportunities that arise when we are in harmony with all of our senses to create a sense of mystery and wonder and really build a resonance between the mundane and the spiritual aspects. This enables our energy to work in harmony with our divine purpose. When we are in line with our divine purpose, our divine destiny unfolds before us. This energy to me is literally like intuition. It's like, hey, trust me. When you're working with this crystal, you have to just trust, the vibes, the frequency, everything that you feel when you're working with the stone, you have to trust it. It is like so amazing. For anyone watching this that's starting their spiritual journey or is curious about spirituality, I would say this is your crystal to work with this year. This is like a big year, like I said, I could see mass spiritual awakenings happening. If you can get Labradorite in a jewelry form, I think that would be great. If you are, already on your spiritual journey, you're not a newbie, you've been in it, I could see Labradorite helping you so much with getting more insights, more downloads throughout this year. This is like a big one. I'm definitely going to invest in a larger piece of Labradorite. I would love to get some and have it kind of like maybe in my bedroom or out in my living room or somewhere where I'm going to see it a lot because I want to be reminded of this magical year that we are in and all the possibilities that we can create. Alrighty, so this next crystal is definitely for all of us out here during this year that are working hard, trying to live our best lives and manifest abundance and wealth and all that good stuff. We're going to be connecting with the energy of Pyrite. Pyrite is excellent for use in manifestation work as it helps one take action on one's ideas or concepts. It also aids in grounding higher knowledge into action and is an ideal stone to use in meditation to bring the energy fully into the physical realm. One of the best stones out there for taking action and creating abundance in one's life. We're looking at the material side of things. I think that doing little hacks, with crystals, having pyrite around our home, keeping pyrite where we work, keeping pyrite in our money corner, honestly, spaced out in different areas in your home, I think is a really wise choice to do this year. Pyrite can help us think of creative ways of how we can save money. It helps bring about kind of actions towards how we can create more money in our lives. Maybe we can strategize how we can work a second job or what's a fun passion thing that we can do, that we can monetize, whatever it may be. It just really strengthens our money mindset and also just this divine masculine energy with how we can create abundance in our life. So like I said, get some pyrite, put it around your home, and work with this energy this year. Really experiment. This is the year to experiment and do all the things with money manifesting. I will definitely be doing some more videos here on my channel this year that share money manifesting like tips, some money rituals. Maybe I'll do some crystal grid stuff. Like I really want to assist you guys and help you guys with manifesting more money this year, because I do think it's going to be one of those years that we need to really grind the gears on how we can do this. Alrighty, so the next crystal on this list is definitely one that I feel is going to help us during retrogrades and the eclipses that are happening this year, and that is Black Kyanite. Black Kyanite can clear blocked energies in any chakra and can replenish the meridian system. It is both grounding and energizing, increasing one's vibrational frequencies without taking one out of the body. It is useful in energetic healing because it clears imbalances and brings forth an unhindered flow throughout one's various systems. I really chose Black Kyanite because I believe it really helps integrate new energy. And to be honest, Black Kyanite is the one that I really want to highlight right now, but honestly, I feel like Blue Kyanite would be wonderful for this year as well, because it does help with that like psychic kind of like activation, and it's very like year 7, very intuitive energy. But regardless, I wanted to incorporate Black Kyanite because I feel like we are going to be having so many downloads. We're going to be having so many experiences this year that when we're working with Black Kyanite, it not only clears our system, but it helps remove things that aren't of our highest good. So as we are kind of like opening our mind and feeling like we are becoming more one with the universe, we want to let go of things that are really hindering our growth. And that's where Black Kyanite works wonderfully. My crystal practice for Black Kyanite this year is going to be meditating with it. I'm going to be placing it over my root chakra, and I'm just going to be like literally thinking of everything exiting my aura, my body that is holding me back. I'm definitely going to be doing this practice at the beginning of the year. So during that first Mercury retrograde, I'm going to be sitting with my Black Kyanite and just having all this work go on. I want to let go of limiting beliefs. I want to clear my mind. I want to strengthen my root chakra before I go into this year. And then, as we go throughout the year, when we have eclipse season, I think Black Kyanite will really come in handy during the springtime when we have that, Aries and Scorpio eclipse. I think Black Kyanite will really aid us during that. And then at the end of the year, when we have another Mercury retrograde, I just feel like if you're feeling kind of like anxious, or you might be feeling sad or depressed or anything like that, Black Kyanite really helps with removal of those feelings, of reprogramming your brain to feel good and find the joy in what you're doing. So with that being said, I definitely recommend working with Black Kyanite throughout this year. All right, so this next crystal, I think I did a really good job picking out. I was really focusing on Saturn and Pisces and this energy because I feel like it's a big deal. Saturn entering into Pisces this year is a big deal for all of us, even everyone that's about to have their Saturn return, more for you, but it's a big deal. And the crystal that I chose for this transit is Sodalite. Sodalite can increase one's capacity for intuition. The frequency of our own intuition rises when we are connecting with the stone. There is a great feeling of confidence in one's inner voice. It helps one to let go of self-judgment that causes second guessing, facilitating a deeper meditative state and opens the subconscious. This helps one recall and heal wounds from the past and receive symbolic imagery from the wiser parts of the self that communicates without words. Working with the higher mind to create order and discipline in one's mental performance is what Sodalite does best. This crystal is all about working with our third eye. It's about learning new stuff and really calling in more discipline and power. It also has this way of working with our third eye chakra. I think I just said that, but it has a way of working with our intuition like no other. I just feel like this is so good for Saturn in Pisces. Like, I think I did such a good job picking this out. I definitely would like to invest in a larger piece of Sodalite. Last year, I had Jupiter represented by my green adventuring, and I loved that. I loved assigning, a crystal to a planet and then that being like my totem throughout the year. So this year I'm definitely assigning Saturn to Sodalite, and that's going to be like the vibe, the frequency. When I'm working with Sodalite, I'm working with my Saturn energy. I think it's so cool that this year is all about like spirituality and like kind of just like tapping into our intuition. Like, it really calls forth for that energy. And with Saturn and Pisces, it's like the same thing, but it's kind of like, how do we create the dreams that we dream up? How do we create that in physical form? And Sodalite is here to help us organize our thoughts, to strategize, to ground our dreams. It's just so perfect. So if you're going through your Saturn return this year, you know what to get. Alrighty, so the last crystal on this list, I really wanted to connect with that lucky rabbit energy, and the stone that I felt best meshed with this energy is none other than green jade. Green jade is a classic abundance stone. It represents the flow of divine energy into the realm of matter and the never ending well of abundance. Jade promotes the flow of money, fertility, luck, and abundance in one's life. It teaches one to be a master of one's money instead of money being one's master. Like I had mentioned with rabbit energy, it's like super fast, it's like exhilarating. We need something that can kind of soothe us when we're kind of like on like the low end. We could be very high vibrational doing a lot of things, but then we need something that's going to really calm us, ground us, and make us feel good, like a heart-centered feeling. And jade is known as like a prosperous stone. It's like a healthy, crystal. It brings in, good energy with our physical bodies. Also just, feeling in tune with the universe, connecting with nature. When I was looking for a lucky crystal, it was just like obvious, oh, it's green jade. This year, when we are, going through life, we're going to go through roadblocks. It's not always going to be peachy. We're going to go through some hard times. I know, reflecting on this past year we had in 2022, at the beginning of the year, I was so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, angel number 2222. Like, this is alignment. This is amazing. And I didn't really think about when we're brought with alignment, when this is getting called forth in our life, things are going to leave, things are going to exit. We're going to have to go through things that are unpleasant because we need that adjustment. We need that attunement to get to where we need to go. And I didn't really think about that too much at the beginning of the year. And I do feel like 2022 has been a little bit of a rough year. I think we can all agree that it's been a little rough. And really looking at 2023, I think it's going to be a little bit lighter, but you never know when things can get a little crazy. And green jade is one of those heart-centered stones, that heart chakra energy that really can soothe us in a way like no other. So when you do feel like things are a little challenging, this is a wonderful abundant stone, a wonderful crystal to connect with for luck, but it also has this nurturing energy to it. So no, like if you had a rough day, you had a bad day, you can grab your jade, connect with it, and feel whole again. Alrighty guys, so I went over everything for my crystals for 2023 video. I hope you enjoyed this one as I shared my impressions, my insights, my downloads that I received while I was getting prepared for this video, finding what crystals I felt would really assist us with this year ahead. I just want to say that I am so, so grateful to be here to connect with you right now in this moment. I'm so grateful to be here and have my channel and do this. A lot of blessings have happened this year, and I do want to say I'm so grateful for all of you out there. Thank you for such an amazing year. And I'm really excited to see what this next year brings for all of us. You know, if you watch my content, I know you have this spiritual hunger inside of you. So this is really an exciting time this year to dive into our spiritual side, you know? I'm definitely going to be kind of working more content into my channel that is, you know, more spirituality based, maybe more manifestation based. You know, when I ask you guys questions about what you want to see on my channel, a lot of you want other things other than crystals, which totally, yes, let's do that. So I really want to make more of a point to kind of talk about some practices that I love to do. You know, this is the year to do it, to talk about more about the spiritual things that I like to do and fun things. So get ready for another great year here. I'm so excited. If you like today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, I would love to know which crystal on this list you are really connecting with. You know, as you're about to go on your 2023 adventure, which crystal do you feel the most drawn to work with? I would love to know. If you can let us know in the comments, I'd love to see what everyone says. Please don't be shy. Thank you so much for hanging out and for being here. I love you guys so much, and I am wishing you the best year yet. I will see you in my next one.